Truth. I'm going to write that in.
Not about that. Truth, but
wow, we're alive. Good evening, everybody, and very warm welcome to our Lyceum night, coming to you from the Paul Spiritualist Church on the south coast of the UK. As you can see, we have visitors this week with us, and it's always a great delight to have wonderful Jack and Lola, his partner, with us here at Paul. So we've come on to do a live tonight, and the topic was truth.
Yes.
There we go. The topic is truth.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's about finding our. Is it about finding our own truths within spiritualism? What is true to us, or?
Yeah, I think part of it has been over the last couple of days with discussions and debates, and what, for my good self, what I've seen and heard over a long time now. It's what is my truth, what is your truth, and where do I get my truth from? My truth, is that actually my truth, or is it something I just adapted from somebody else?
Yeah, well, that's good. Yes, this is beginning all to gel in my little befuddled mind. Because we're having a discussion in one of these group chat things on social media, and people were quite adamant about their truth, that their truth is the truth. It may be your truth, but they were saying, well, no, this happens when you go to spirit. And it was like full stop. So everybody goes to spirit is going to go through exactly the same process.
Yeah.
And it when you get that energy, you're losing that debate element to things.
Yeah. And I believe we actually see. I'm a member of. Sadly, I'm a member of a lot of groups on Facebook. A part of it is because through many years I have been a spiritualist. I have been teaching and things. So I have added myself to different groups to try to follow what is going on out there in the community. What are the debates? Because I have people, students coming asking me, "Oh, what do you think about so and so?" And even though there can be subjects that I don't really have an opinion on, then at least I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So, but that also means that it's rare that I involve myself in discussions in different Facebook groups and other so many platforms. But I'm looking around and I'm reading a little bit, and sometimes I think, oh, this is interesting. Other times I just have like, oh, I just get the popcorn out and
wait for the fight to unfold.
Yes,
I've been in groups like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
But it's kind of, we are laughing a little bit often here, but it's kind of a little bit sad that. But I think we see that in spiritual. In the spiritual movement, and that many people, we all have our own truth, but it's like we can have some thoughts, we have our own experiences, and all these things, and we are forming our own truth, either by our own experiences, or by what we are reading, or by what we are being told by our others, and I think sometimes, and then we see people that, oh, I've heard statement, I've read a book by so and so, so this is how it is.
Yeah.
But what you are telling us there, you've read a book about somebody else's truth, that you have made your own truth.
Yeah.
But what is your own experience within that truth? And I think that's sometimes makes me wonder that how do we actually create our own truth?
Yeah.
Basically, when people ask me, I usually say nobody has the truth but me. But there's a grain of truth in that, because my truth is the right truth to me.
Yeah. For now. Yeah. Today.
That might be totally different tomorrow. It might even change just during this evening if the good people out there is coming with some good questions and comments. So please do so. But yeah, it's you see it when we're talking about spiritualism, when we're talking about mediumship and things. I believe you, as well as my good several ones, have been in these debates. Let's just talk mediumship, where people say, "Oh, this is how you should do things."
Yeah.
Because that is what I have been taught, and this is how I do it. So this is the right way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been there, and also you do hear within the movement, some people will watch mediums working, and they will know who they're trained under.
Yeah,
because they know their school. They know their school.
Yeah.
But again, this comes in nicely with this current thing that I've got going on around me about spiritualism being an experience.
Yes.
And I think we've lost that to a small degree out there. Some of our Dems, some of our, I try not to live on Facebook. Unfortunately, I do need to be on Facebook and other social platforms at the same time. But I just keep saying, oh, we've got a really good medium tonight. They're so funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great. If I want a comedy act, I'll go down the comedy club.
Yeah. So,
but we have lost that, bringing that experience. This is something I'm really working hard with: is bring that experience back into our meetings, into our services, into our Dems. Not just I always encourage a congregation. You're not here as voyeurs to watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Number one, what goes on is down to you, because it's the energies that you brought in. And number two, if we and others do their jobs right as mediums, not only will you hear the thoughts of a loved one, you will actually feel their presence there.
Yeah.
You will make this connection between the spirit, the medium, and the sitter, and back to the spirit.
Yeah.
So, the truth is, I'm a little bit pedantic when I read things, and I will pick up on things, and people say, "Oh, it's just a word," and I think, well, no, because that word may change that whole context of that statement, and you do see a lot of statements about spiritualism.
Oh, yes, and I believe now we mentioned the mediumship, we can go into the philosophy as well. Just thinking of the 7 principles. Some people is acting like the 7 principles is a set of rules.
Yeah.
But actually, it's an inspiration.
Yeah.
It's a philosophy.
Yeah. It's something
that we can
be
inspired by. And I think sometimes as well when we're talking about the philosophy, when we are listening to people's addresses and things, sometimes I've often heard addresses like and sometimes the phrases that has been used, that we have to do so and so. We need to, and it becomes quite demanding.
Yeah.
Instead of inspiring.
I call that orthodox.
Yes.
Yes. If I want to be told what I can and can't do, I will go to an orthodox religion.
And I like to look at the philosophy on the dress like a piece of art.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself bringing out the philosophy through a painting.
Right.
Everybody looking at that painting will have different experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
They will have different inspirations from that picture.
Yeah. Definitely agree there.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. Us tonight, some wonderful people in the room tonight. Stephen Birdtop's playing up a wee bit tonight, so bear with us, please. It's getting like me, it's getting old and cranky. So Stephen Bird is just going back to, I think, my comments about making our meetings more of that experience with spirits and for the sitters in there. And he's just saying the art is less classically practiced today. I agree. It's not a show. It's a demonstration of fact and healing. Oh, I like that. It's a demonstration of fact.
Yeah.
Well, I like that phrase. Yeah, well done, Steve. Thank you. I'm going to plagiarise that, but thank you. At least I'm telling you I'm going to.
You'll sit on all the days.
But that is a really nice way of putting it. But yeah, definitely. Where are we? Just say hi to Daniela. How are you, my darling? Hope it's all wonderful out there where you are.
Hopefully a bit colder now than when we drove past.
Oh, that's right. You were driving through the other day.
Yeah, we were driving through Holland, 34 degrees.
Nice.
It's horrible.
Horrible. Well, I'm not complaining. Bring it on. This can stay until Christmas. We've been sat out in the garden today. It's been absolute heaven.
Yes.
Anyway, Pat Tweak, Southampton area, I think, Pat. Everyone's experiences are individual, painful or not, we all learn in different ways. Yeah, that is very true. And you have said something there. Everyone's experiences are individual.
Yeah.
And this is part and parcel what you were talking about with the painting for philosophy.
Yeah.
Because everyone will experience that individually.
Yeah.
Sorry about the background noise. We're having a family of seagulls. We're having a bit of a tiff at the moment. I think, I don't know what's gone on, but obviously in seagull world, it's quite important.
It can be a little bit like the real world sometimes.
A little bit like
our world.
Our world?
With seagulls.
Yeah.
Yelling at each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, carry on. Build on this.
No, but yeah, I believe everybody's both personal and spiritual journey is so individual, and really have to be aware of both when we speak ourselves, how we can affect people for good and bad, but also when we're listening to other people.
Mm.
What are the things they're saying? What is it we are taking in to become our own truth?
Yeah.
Does it really resonate with us, or do we take it in just because it's Lawrence, president of Poole Christian Spiritualist Church? You know, but
like I think that doesn't happen.
but I know sometimes.
Lawrence said. Yeah, I get that. Lawrence said. Jack said.
What I mean, often we can think that, oh, this is a good medium, or this is a good speaker, or even a a good minister or whatever, good at whatever.
Yeah.
What they say must be true because they are so good.
Yeah. I follow that.
So if you have built a kind of a name, have a group of followers, 10, 100, thousands, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They listen to you and they take your words for the truth.
Yeah.
It's your truth, but people often take it in as their own truth.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that can be a bit of a danger by only listening to one or two, a few people. We all know there are people that we are more attracted to for different reasons. But I also believe sometimes that we have to make a check on why are we actually listening to this person.
Yeah. And what is being said, is that encompassing my whole person, or is that just encompassing a part of me? For that 90 minutes, I'm going to be that person for them, and the rest of the time, I'm not.
Yeah.
And again, Daniela was just saying here, people forget to find their own truth.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I experienced it. I think I experienced that a lot. And I'll make a comment here that might upset some people, but it's not to upset anybody. But it's just, I've had this thought over the years where I've been around UK, I've had most of my development within spiritualism and mediumship over here in UK. And I think I've heard again and again, oh, you should read this and this book. You have to read this and this book. And all these things, because that's how you develop as a medium. That's how you develop as a spiritualist.
Right. Yeah.
And trust me, I've started on many, many books. Very few books I've finished.
Yeah.
1 or 2 chapters in, I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
This is somebody else's experience.
Yeah.
And just, it doesn't cleanse with my own experiences. This is somebody else's truth.
And gosh, my mind is I've got so many trains of thought going on here. It's like Clapham Junction. One of my favourite things is, when this came up last night on the den that we did online, about it is not the destination. Stop looking for the answer.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted the answer to what they can do with the spirit world, and it's sort of like, well, go out and just find where your passion is, and do the journey, because the destination is only achievable by the journey.
Yeah. And I have to say here with the books, there's nothing wrong with reading the books, not at all. No. It's just the way we are reading the books, how we reflect on them. I've read books where the majority of the book, oh, this makes sense, and then there's things in where I say, whoa, this way over my head, and things like that. So it's reading a book, read a book like a kind of philosophy. Let it inspire you, to create your own truth. Don't take what is written by some name or whoever. Don't make every word they write to your truth, but let it inspire you. To build your own philosophy, to build your own truth.
Because that leads us into another thing that I'm very passionate about, and getting more so, is people developing their own awareness of spirit. And I do not mean giving messages. I do, because I keep seeing this awareness circles, come and practice your mediumship, and it's like, no, to me, no. What is the one foundation that everybody builds on?
Energy.
Exactly. The one keystone that we all have is us.
Yes.
And if we don't find us, if we keep lumping, he does that. Oh yeah, I'll have a bit of that. And, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. And oh yeah, like him. Yeah, they really, and before you know it, you're tottering around, top heavy with all. Oh, I like the symbology here. I can see me. I'm on top of the Empire State Building. And I'm getting shot at by biplane. Oh, I'm King Kong. That's nice. Anyway. Oh, it's a gorilla! Anyway. Oh, excuse us. Sorry.
Okay.
I do apologise for that. Yes. That was an earlier conversation. It's just all suddenly come horribly true. But yeah, it's, we offer the ability in spiritualism to do just that.
Yeah.
So sorry, I can hear peals of laughter coming from the background here, and that's just a bit off-putting. Be quiet, Lola. Anyway. But we have that within our ethos, within our teaching, within our very core energy about finding out about ourselves. And starting that journey off here, not seeking others' inputs. Just here, listen to that still small voice inside. Yeah. Oh, well, it's the evening over. Thank you all for joining us.
But I think you're right. We have to learn about ourselves, our own energy, our own resources, our own patterns, our own everything. And what we often see is when people are coming into spiritualism, coming into the spiritual development, that's starting the spiritual journey, and many people goes, I want to be a medium, I want to be a psychic, I want to be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step for many is, where can I learn to read other people?
Yeah.
Very few people come and say, oh, Lawrence, do you have a workshop where I can learn to read myself?
Yeah.
Heard that question.
A question here from Tim Abbott.
Yes, sir.
If an individual has developed a good relationship with spirit, the spirit will inspire their individuals to find their own truth. I like the way you put that, Tim, about inspire the individual. Again, I keep hearing it from again and again. Oh yeah, I sit and I want my guides to come in and tell me this, or I want to make that. Yeah. And you just think, actually, do you know what? One of the hardest spirits to get in touch with is our own.
Yeah.
Because quite often when we do, we actually find little things and just think, ooh.
Yeah.
That needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
Not me, obviously. Don't believe it.
But and it's coming back to what we talked about earlier as well, being inspired.
Yeah.
By spirit, by the books we read, by the people we are listening to, and being inspired to create our own truth from wherever that inspiration comes from. Yeah.
One of the greatest books that gave me a lot of inspiration when I read it was Many Mansions by Air Chief Marshal Dowding. And in there are a lot of accounts received through his circle during the Second World War of soldiers, sailors, airmen who had just passed over. And it wasn't just the account, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
It just gave you just sort of like a more rounded idea of the transition phases we go through, because that is always something, we look at and think, well, am I going to wake up somewhere like this and then gradually move on? Or, people say, you're going to go into a giant consciousness. Well, I don't fancy going straight into a giant consciousness straight away, quite frankly. I want to have a bit of a holiday, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and haunt Ibiza for a month.
You want to wear your new T-shirt, keep social distance.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah.
Yeah, but I'd use those books for the inspiration of the way spirit think, and not. This is another thing. If you had 10 trance mediums working together, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But if you had 10 trance mediums talking together, not one, I believe firmly, not one of them would say exactly the same thing about whatever question was posed, because they would all come at a different thinking, different angle, different thought.
Yeah,
and we do tend to have this thing, oh, well, spirit know best. That's just sort of saying the human race knows best. And good God, in this day and age, that's really a bad mistake.
Yeah.
But, it's the schools of philosophy. There are so many.
Yeah. And I think we should be careful about this spirit knows all, because in my experience through the communications I've got myself, but also through the communications I've been given over the years, the way they're coming forward, so many different experiences in spirit. So just because we go to spirit doesn't mean that we now know all.
Yeah.
Because where does the eternal progress of your human soul go?
Yeah. It stops when you die. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't. So it's so looking at it that way, it simply doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That spirit should know all. Maybe if we put all spirits together.
One day we may get close to it, but I don't think we'll ever get to. What was it described in one book about how can you plumb an unfathomable depth of truth? And it was like, okay. Okay, I'm beginning to get the message here. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Sue Townsend. Sorry, we're just about to be invaded. I am persona non gratis with the cat, and Jack,
you forgot,
is in favour. Anyway, Susan Townsend, I agree with Jack. Truth is unique to each individual. Teacher or guides may simply offer signposts or keys to another person as encouragement to go on a voyage of self-discovery leading to greater self-awareness. I agree to a certain point with that, but I have also seen people then get consumed by the need for validation. So it's my guide and get the evidence and get the proof. And it's sort of like denying the initial, you don't need other people's validation. Yeah. If you sit there and in your mind you go, however uncomfortable that was, it's true.
Yeah.
And it may not be something you're going to share with anybody because it's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. Or the other side of the coin, you may get something through and just think, really? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. That was out of the blue.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh. Daniela is inspired there.
Yeah, that's the basis. And... oh, like that. I like that saying. Circles and circles and circles and circles in spirit for the mind of the many.
Yeah.
I was once told, now this is how we can be sort of like formed and directed into a thought. One of the old school mediums said for every person sitting in circle, there are 7 circles of 7 sitting on the other side to assist that one person.
Yeah.
I don't know if that formula is exactly correct, but it does bring home that thought that when you're sat in circle, you are not alone.
No, and I think we can agree. I think many of you out there can agree with it as well. That we all have a group of guides and helpers around us.
Yeah.
Different reasons. Some will be there from we are born to we die. Some will be there for a few months. Some will be for a few years.
For a purpose.
Within our spiritual as well as our personal development, and as well for the progression of our soul.
Yeah.
So it's so if it's 7, I don't know.
Yeah. Seems to be this mythical, doesn't it? About
Yes. If it's 7, I don't know. I know I have been. I think it's 5. I have been aware of that have been prominent around me. One especially that is very much. You met him, and but you know it's again. Is it actually 5? No, I just mentioned 5. It could be 7. But actually, is it actually more than 1, or is our perception of that energy changing?
Yeah. Well, I had that amazing experience with my doorkeeper, who I built a very strong relationship with.
Yeah.
And then suddenly this person appeared. I knew it was them, but it wasn't them. And I'm like, what's going on? Don't understand. And you said, I've had to go back to a different incarnation to help you at this time. And I thought, oh God, that's really put the cat amongst the pigeons. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, but I was just like, whoa, this is going to be another thing.
And it reminds me, many years back now, probably 10 years ago, something.
When we were about 12.
Yeah, around that. A circle I had at that time where one of the students there had his wolves as a guide, power. I don't know how you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
He has his wolf. I said, okay. And we had this talk about, but what is a guide? How do we perceive that energy? What pictures do we put on it? So I talked to him and I changed his perspective of his guide from a wolf to an eagle.
Okay.
And he nearly panicked. Everybody was asked everybody to study his energy. Nothing changed within the energy.
Yeah.
Only thing that changed was in his mind. He panicked. He thought he lost his wolf. So, oh, easy now.
Yeah.
I'm talking back. The wolf is back now.
Yeah.
The same guy, the same energy, but his perception of the energy went into a wolf because that was comfortable for him.
Yeah.
That was this presence of the wolf that he was using in his healing.
And I had that as well. I sound like a know-it-all, but I'm seriously not. My doorkeeper, who was just talking about Manny, excuse me again. Another time I saw him as him, but the dress and the manner was different. And I went, why have you presented like this? Because he was in robes and there was a difference in his energy.
Yeah.
But it was him. I knew it was him.
Yeah.
Face was the same. And he went, you wouldn't have accepted me in this appearance. And I thought, you know what? That's true. If you'd shown yourself like that to me in my early days, I would have gone, yeah, sorry, mate. You know, I'm not good enough for you. Seriously.
Yeah. But and I know a debate that we're talking about these spiritual Facebook groups and things, and sometimes have put a question in, and you can think about it out there. Maybe you have had some comments on it, but ask a question to some of these groups, both Danish and English groups over the years. The question is quite simple: how can it be that the majority of spiritual people have either a North American Indian, a Mother Teresa figure, a Tibetan monk, or similar things as their guide? Why does nobody have a miner from Birmingham?
I've got a tailor from New York. I'm quite happy with him.
but I mean, it's and people's reaction has been quite harsh because it's. But I think really have to think about when they're coming as guides help us that don't have a physical presence. They're coming as an energy.
And we annotate the presence.
And we create that picture.
Yeah. Very quickly, lovely Elizabeth. How are you, darling?
Hello, Elizabeth. I own your chat.
You are?
I own your chat.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Lucky you, Elizabeth. Anyway, discovering and recognizing your own light energy is the keystone. There we go. That's that phrase again. To developing your own unique individual link with spirit. Very true. Very, very true. Pat Twig. No, Danielle, I wasn't spirit on the phone. I think my car insurance has expired, even though I don't have one. People in the UK will understand that. Has anyone ignored what spirit has said and turned out to be the truth? Ooh.
Has anyone
ignored what spirit has said and it turned out
to be the truth? I believe so.
Yeah, I'm sure somewhere along the line people have.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it on a personal basis.
Yeah.
I think sometimes this links in nicely with how we, the personality we ascribe to that initial energy, because we are co-creators of everything.
Yeah.
I went on a week's physical mediumship course many years ago, and we had to do the meditation before breakfast, go down and have breakfast, discuss the meditation. And every morning, two people would say, "Oh, we had this, we had that, we had this." And every time it just rounded off with, and of course, pause for effect. Diana was there, Lady Diana. And I used to think, why? I've met Lady Diana and she never comes through and see me. And then it just sort of like sank in. I thought, yeah, because if you sit there and meditate and say, I want to see Lady Di, I want to see Lady Di, you know what? You are actually going to see Lady Di. You may well not have Lady Di, but you will just, because we are co-creators of everything.
I usually use this, if I say a banana to you.
A banana.
You will visualize, because you know how a banana looks, so you'll visualize.
I've just seen a gorilla.
But most normal people will visualize a banana. And I often, but try to touch that banana. Most people will be able to feel that banana.
Yeah.
And try to smell it or taste it. You can smell it and taste it without even having the banana, having the energy of the banana. It's just our mind that is creating that.
Yeah. Yeah, and our mind is a very powerful tool.
Yes.
Very powerful.
So,
Pat, just I'm sure other people have had their own personal experiences of these things. I think sometimes we may not have ignored what has been said, but may have probably misunderstood, because they don't tend to put things in very straightforward. You know, if you talk to that person, you will come a cropper.
Yeah.
They will put it in a way of watch out for the lumps and bumps in your path, and you just carry on because you've not really actually given deep thought to what are the lumps and bumps. You've just gone, oh well, yeah, that's fine. Everybody's path is lumpy, but they may have just said it at that time because there's something coming up. So, yeah, but then again, that would interfere with free will, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm your guide and tell you not to go to Paul Church ever again,
that would be very good advice.
Tell me.
I might not listen.
But then that's negating free will.
Yeah.
But then Spirit might say you may want to think about where you are. You may want to think about your travels to other lands, or do you want, or whatever. They would put it in just a way that you need to, a bit like Terrier's chocolate orange, you need to unwrap it and then give it a tap. Lovely Tim. as spiritualists, we always talk fondly of the spirit world, and surely the truth of spiritualism is how we lead our lives here and now as spirit beings incarnate. Yeah, that is so true. I always say spiritualism isn't about talking to dead people. Spiritualism is about life today.
Yes.
And I say with our churches and our centres, the one product that we all have, irrespective of affiliations or whatever, the one product every church and centre has to give to the people coming there is hope.
Yeah.
Is hope. It is that, come on, we demonstrate time and time and time again the continuity of life, get over that stage. And start applying that to this life and start realizing the true value of this life.
Yeah.
And how we can be of service to other people. We're not being served. We do recognize there's times we deal with somebody and we walk away and we think, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, it's very true, Tim. It is, spiritualism is about life today. We go back in the history of it. Some of the great social changes that were brought about spiritualists because they were spiritualists, because they knew about the continuity of life. They knew about fairness and equality. They knew about justice. They knew this through spiritualism.
Yeah.
And then they started applying it to various bills going through Parliament or bequests going to different, because they actually applied their spiritualism to today's life. And that's just beautiful. Because I say to people, please don't be a 90-minute spiritualist.
Yeah.
Go to church. Hello, everybody.
Yes.
How are you, Jack? Oh, it's wonderful to see you. La, la, la.
Yeah.
Walk out the door and you think, right, who's she parking in my bloody spot? Who's that? You get out of my way. How long are you going to be at that bleeding checkout? Don't be a 90-minute spiritualist. Please.
You don't have outdoors CCTV, do you?
No.
No.
Why?
Oh, good for you.
Do I need it?
No.
Am I going to have an angry mob on my doorstep again? Comment there from Susan Townsend, and she talked about guides. I have one as a little old lady with a crooked walking cane. Brilliant.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Pat Twig here makes a comment. Spiritualist is knowing true. It's knowing. Oh, there we go. Brings us back nicely on topic.
Yes.
Thank you, Pat. And that's what we were talking about. Is truth. It's our truth, and it's our truth arrived at by our investigation into things, our inspiration, the people we meet. I've been so blessed here that I've met some amazing people that have inspired me. None of them are present at the moment, but I've met I've met some amazing I've met some amazing people. Not only inspired me directly, but indirectly. And hearing their story about things, and you just think, wow. I got that when I first started taking funerals. And when you're gathering the story of that person for the eulogy, so often I used to think, why are we only knowing this now?
Yeah.
Why do I only know? One lady, she fostered over 300 children, and she specialised in the foster kids that were getting bounced from pillar to post because they were difficult.
Yeah.
And she said it wasn't them being difficult.
No.
She said nobody listened to them.
No.
And I'm thinking, why do we only know this now?
Yeah.
What a shame. What a loss. What a loss to get that, that whole story out. But as I say, we can do that because everybody is, I always say this, everybody is amazing. Everybody out there has got a story.
Yeah.
Everybody out there has overcome things. Me and you probably go, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think sometimes if we actually listen to each other's stories.
Yeah.
I know for myself, over the years, I've been listening to people's stories. Been, wow, that has actually been quite a big inspiration for me.
Yeah. They're releasing that film of that guy who saved all those kids in Germany.
Yeah.
And that story is just, okay, that is a unique, but it's just, wow. We have a question.
Yes.
We have a question. There's somebody at the door. Oh, what was that? Oh, you wouldn't know.
Daniela.
Lovely Daniela. Question. What do you both think we need to do to bring spiritualism back into the world?
Yes. What do we need to? Now we're talking about our truth, I believe. No. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion,
It's been asked for.
Yes, I believe to bring spiritualism more back into this world, we need to act more like spiritualists. We need to speak our truth, but not put our truth forward to others as the truth, but as our truth. And talking, not forcing, sharing our story, sharing our philosophy, and hopefully that way inspire other people to have new thoughts. Have, like we were talking about earlier about the addresses, but doing an address, that's kind of a message for the masses.
Yeah.
But it's not the one and only truth. It shouldn't be anyway, in my opinion. It should be an inspiration to everybody that listen to add a little bit to their own philosophy. And I believe that's can't remember who mentioned the circles and circles, a little bit like rings. Daniela, yeah, okay, a little bit like the rings in the water. We can make that spread, but I think to make that happen, we need to sort out our own way to be spiritualists. Being honest with it, being brave enough to address things that is not okay within spiritualism.
Yeah, oh, very much.
And looking around, we just look at a part of spiritualism. Where do we prove our belief as spiritualists? We do that through the mediumship. The act of mediumship is where we bring proof, where we bring evidence for the continuous life. That is one of the big parts in spiritualism for me. So promotes mediumship for what mediumship is.
Yeah.
The evidence of the survival of the physical life. You're not doing that by flipping cards or anything. Nothing wrong with flipping cards. It's not just not to me. It's not one of the parts within spiritualism.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine to do it. I have no problem with it. Just don't present it as mediumship because it's devaluate the mediumship. It devalues the spiritualism, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
that message.
I'm full aware of many people will disagree with me
on you, folks.
but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We can have a good debate and probably talk about it all night. But it's one of it's a part of the fundament of spiritualism, is this bringing forward the evidence and keep talking about the philosophy, and talking philosophy not in a demanding way, but in an inspiring way.
Yeah. It might go, yeah.
And I have experienced over the years, also by my work in Denmark with Danish Spiritualist Association, trying to build that in Denmark over years now, doing services, a lot of services in Denmark. I've been so happy all the years when people have come to me and said to me, "Oh, Jack, we don't need the messages in service because we actually like the philosophy, we want like the prayers and things." Yeah. And that means to me, wow, so the philosophy that addresses the prayers is actually touching people. They are inspiring people. They are doing the job. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my prayer has always been, I love your comment here, but we need the messages, the mediumship within our services, because that's the evidence for our philosophy. Yeah,
that backs up what we're talking about. I will quote the late, great Jean Bassett. And she was talking about the big rallies of spiritualism in yesteryear, where people would go to listen to the philosophy. And we are talking great big halls across many continents where mediums would go to and give inspired talks about spiritualism from spirits to people. And Jean Bassett posed the question. She said, where did those people go? Where are they today? Yeah. And when I thought about that, I thought, the people are still here, but maybe we're not saying something that they need to listen to or they want to listen to. I think that's where we need to concentrate. And again, this brings back, don't be a 90-minute spiritualist. Yeah, all right, we're all going to have days. I'm going to walk out one day and just go, because of something, but at least I'm aware that I'm doing it afterwards. But it is by leading by example. It is by approaching our religion, our philosophy, whatever we want to call it, and approaching it sensibly, and just being both feet on the ground when we talk about it as matter of fact. You've just upset people with cards, and I'm going to upset the other half of the congregation tonight. Elementals, things like that. Absolutely great. Yeah, brilliant. Off you go. Please, when we have people coming into our churches, our centres, our virtual churches and discussions, people that are very much more educated these days. There's a higher percentage of people who have been to universities, been to college, have a greater educational base. And we've got to raise our game to meet those people on that same base and talk sensibly. And as I always say, if we have that passion, that comes out. And I don't mean, oh my God, you're going to do it. Comes out in a measured way. And present to these people who are just making these inquiries. If you go out to somebody and they give you right, I'm a stranger, what's spiritualism? If you give me a well-crafted, well-rounded and intelligent response, I will go away thinking, that's interesting. But if I go to you, what is spirit? Oh, well, we talk to dead people, and, we believe in fairies and unicorns and things like that. You'll walk away thinking, next.
And I believe when you're putting that question up, our typical response, a short response would be like, well, when I met spiritualism, I met a belief system where there was space for me. Where there was an acceptance of me. With my thoughts, with my philosophy. Because it's not a set of rules. It's not a book that had the truth. It's principles built on a philosophy that is alive.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Tim, lovely Tim. In 2013, Lord Torson made a ruling that any religion to hold the status of a religion had to be educational. Spiritualism achieves that with the philosophy. Yeah, it does. It offers that personal growth. It offers that different viewpoint. Have you considered this? Yeah, very much. Very much. Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
Excuse me. Sorry, it's very dry air.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll come back to the original topic, the truth. The truth is your truth.
Yes.
It's actually unshakable. I say to people, often you'll get that amazing. Sorry, an email notification coming. It's just totally throwing me now of what was going. What was I going to say? Tell me what I was going to say. Come on, you're psychic. Never mind. It will come back. Your truth. Yes, thank you. There we go. We've all been privy to either delivering or receiving that message.
Yeah.
That message. That one which you just go out and it's like, mind is blown. But I say to people, do you know what? Yeah, that's beautiful when you receive that. But you will not get anything more evidential than when you start getting your own message. Because it's however that's given to you. We hear people say, please give me a sign. And suddenly this happened.
Yeah.
And it's not making two uncorrelated incidents go together. Give me a sign. If that is you, if the robin in the garden, please give me a sign. 2 minutes later, the robin flies in the window. And it's like,
yeah,
okay. But it's not hard, concrete evidence. But it is enough to say to you, right, where do you stand? Do you trust this now? Or are you still going to doubt it and still want more and still want this? I always say, if you walk through somebody and gave their full name and address, there are people that next week will want their postcode and the week after they want to know what country they were born in. And, people say, well, why don't you get this if you know everything? It's probably because spirit can't be asked with you, quite frankly, I think. If you're just going to keep endlessly asking all these minuscule details, what is the point of it?
Yeah.
Because everything spirit does with us has got a point.
Like I usually say, if you had my daughter from spirit, she's giving me her phone number through you.
Yeah.
I don't have a phone anymore. And I probably know her phone number or have it on my phone.
Yeah.
So, but I know what you want to talk about. It's the relationship we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know that she's still there, that she's still alive.
Yeah. That is such an intro because you just stopped me there. I was about to say it is all the memories. Yeah, the memories make the link.
Yeah,
but also as part of our.
Still, we need the facts.
Yeah, but also with our philosophy and understanding, you get that link through the evidence, through the memories of a life spent together. But you just said something. What's she doing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that. I like that energy. What are they doing now?
Is there any evidence in whatever she's doing? No. And maybe because what she's doing now might be a reflection of how I knew her.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's an aspect we can add to our mediumship, I believe.
Yeah.
But still, we need the facts. We need the evidence.
Yeah.
As a foundation for that philosophy, if you can put it that way.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's been absolutely lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it, really.
Yes.
So it's good night from me.
And good night from me.
Sorry.
I'm just going to say enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
Go and tell somebody you love them if you do. If not, don't.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you know them first.
Oh, yes.
Don't get carried away in the queue at the garage.
No.
Don't forget, tomorrow morning our service will be streamed live onto Facebook. We have Stephen Mager coming to us from Portsmouth. Jack has very kindly offered to chair for the service for tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. Jack has now agreed to chair the service for tomorrow. Thanks, Jack. That's very kind of you. So, yeah, don't forget to tune in and watch that. Thank you, Jack.
Love you.